Okay, first off, we're doing water Pokemon this time. Not starters. I kept saying that during the fire Pokemon one. We're not doing starters. We're doing water Pokemon flat. That's it. So that means no starters. That also means no evolutions. That means that each Pokemon on this list, the first type is water. I had to edit this list because I forgot one of these one of these Pokemon that was on the list didn't its first type wasn't water. So that's something I gotta make it very clear because the fire one there was actually there's a Pokemon that like you wouldn't think of as like in the fire type list where you wouldn't think like, oh, that's a fire type before it's a ghost type. It's the way my rules work. You can sometimes see like a Pokemon you wouldn't expect on the list over like you're like, well, where's this other one? Well, that's because this one doesn't start with the type, but this one does. So you'll notice that a lot. That's just how Pokemon. I don't know how they decide which type comes first. Typically, I'd like to imagine they think about it and like which one is it more like. But I don't think Nintendo really thinks about it that much. So yeah, point is, if you notice something wonky, like why isn't this on the list, do a quick research. Be like, all right, which type comes first? And you'll notice, oh, wait, it's not water. It's like ghost or poison or ice or something. Especially ice. There's a lot of ice water, not water ice. So, just want to make that very clear because that happened to me too. All right, I thought I was in the clear and then I wasn't. And I was like, oh, I need to edit that. So, this is actually take two. But that's fine. So I'm gonna make this fairly quick. Oh yeah, and no legendaries and mythical Pokemon, but that's kind of obvious because they have their own list eventually. So yeah, we're gonna start with number five. Number five is Kingdra. I'm not actually like a huge Kingdra fan. I like the fact it's water dragon. I think the seahorse aesthetic looks cool. I don't think it's aged the best. Like I don't in terms of how it's aged as like does the Pokemon hold its own as much as it did before? Not really, but it's cool. It's okay. I still like it for being a seahorse, water dragon thing. It's got Dragon Balls, Dragon Dance. Yes, Dragon Dance, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, all that stuff. It does get Hurricane, which I forgot about, which is cool. There's nothing really overly like crazy special aside from its type and its design. Its shiny is one of those. There's a lot of these where they're purple or pink. When it comes to water types, I don't know why Nintendo has a thing where they get lazy. Like, what do we make the shiny? I know. Let's just make it magenta. Like, why? But I don't know. They do that often. But yeah, stat wise, it's just flat 95, except for its speed, which is 85, and its HP, which is 75, which is a weird distribution. It looks good when you think about it. You're like, oh, that means it's not really bad at anything. But then that also you think about it, and you're like, that also means it's not really good at anything either. Like, well, okay, it's good at a lot of things. It's not great at a lot of things, which I'll be honest, like, it depends on how you like to play. I don't like to play that way. I think it's very boring. I know I've said that like with some other Pokemon it works, but usually they'll have at least one stat that's like over 105 or something, and then I'll be like, this is nice. I can lean in that direction. I feel like I'm doing something. With this, I mean, you think it makes you look at it and go like, oh, I can do this one time. I can do this one time. But you're never really like fully making the same kind of impact. You could be like, well, it's not as fast as this, or it's not as, offensive as this, or it's not as defensive as this. Like there's always going to be something that is doing what you're trying to do with Kingdra a little bit better than Kingdra. So that's why I don't put it higher on the list. But yeah, that's all I need to say about Kingdra. In terms of number four, Kingdra's number five. Number four, I got Gastrodon, but Gastrodon East C form, not West C form. I said this in the previous recording, but I'll say it again. The reason why this thing is actually lower on the list, and I think no one's arguing why it's in this placement, but I actually would have put it higher, is because technically speaking, I only like half of the Pokemon. Because I don't like the West form at all. I think the pink and brown just doesn't work for me, and the way the head is. It's not as cool to me. Like I like the East form more because it feels more like a water Pokemon, and I like the green. Like it works better for me. The shiny is just a dulled colored version of both of them. It's like a gradient, like grand. I don't know. I don't. It's not really like much of a shiny. Actually, ironically, it's not a shiny. It's like going from glossy to matte. It's less shiny, which is funny. But stat wise, it's cool. HP is 111, and the special side of things is better than the physical side of things. But water ground is a great type. Water ground is a great type, and that's why I like this thing. Is that I can put it very often. I can put it in a team that I need a water type. I don't like it doesn't fit the mold of what I usually expect from a water type, but I just need a water type. And I put it in there and it does work, man. Like you give it Scald, you give it ground type moves like Earth Power. Obviously you want it to be more special because it's not really good on the physical side. But yeah, you can have fun with that. Scald Muddy Water. Does it learn Muddy Water? I think it does. Um I don't actually know. No, it doesn't. Well, Earth Power works. And you get Blizzard and some other stuff. Sludge Bomb too, Pain Split. So with all that HP, it actually holds its own fairly well. And then you get Sticky Hole and Storm Drain. Its abilities aren't like they don't help it too much, but they just keep it like what I feel like it is, and that's just a solid choice if you wanted to make a team and you're like, I just need a water Pokemon. If this thing's available, I think you should. Personally, I'd pick it up because I like it. I like it. But that's the thing. It's my list. So, and if you guys have your own, put it down below, guys. Like that's the thing. I'm halfway through, but if you're gonna argue, if you're already feeling like arguing with me, put it down, man. If you want me to put something that you don't think I've already said, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Number 3 is Sharpedo. Sharpedo is above Gastrodon and Kingdra because it's a cooler design and it has a bigger niche. But ironically, I think it's a worse Pokemon to use. I don't think it's typing. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like 95 speed. First off, its stats 95 speed and 120 physical attack. No one's going to argue with that. That's good numbers right there. And 95 special attack if you want to go that direction, but I wouldn't recommend it. Bro, I don't know. It gets speed boost for a hidden ability. If you can get that, like, you've got a solid choice on your hands. I just feel like if I were to look at it, like really, really look at it, it's not a typical water type, which is fine. It's just, I think, because I'm comparing it to like Greninja, right? I don't know. Like, is it what it knows? Like, what it learns? It gets awkward shit. Yeah. Avalanche, if you want a physical, well, I guess it's got to get Ice Fang, right? Ice Fang, Liquidation, Poison Jabs. Like, I mean, in theory, I should like it, but for some reason, I don't as much as the other top two, and I feel like I have to admit, to me, it feels like a worse choice. Like I'd be more likely to choose Gastrodon over Sharpedo, but I like Sharpedo more as a water type. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So shiny wise, it's doing the same thing, purple, pink. But I don't know, like Speed Boost Sharpedo. It sounds good, but then I'm like, in practice, you're not working for me, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, I decided to put it at number 3. Like I feel like I for water types I put Gastrodon below it, but I pick Gastrodon more. So I don't know. Maybe my list is already breaking down on me, but I still feel like I would put Sharpedo number 3. I gotta admit, it rubs me the wrong way for some reason why I can't convince myself to use him more. I think it's because other types, maybe that's why. A lot of other types do the same thing he does, but better. Like fighting types and fire types, maybe. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. I don't have the time for that. But let's move on. Number 2 is Lapras. And Lapras for many reasons. One, it's a solid design. It's a good water type. Like this is what I think of in terms of what the job of water type does. It's got a special attack at 85, nothing crazy, but the HP is 130. So you can choose what you want to do. It learns Ice Beam naturally. It's a really good, perfect image of what I imagine a water, ice, but mostly leaning towards the water type side of things is for a Pokemon. Like if I were to imagine it, it's just, and also nostalgia. Like Lapras is the Pokemon I would always pick in if I'm playing like Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or any of that. Like Gen 1, Gen 2, I go straight to Lapras. Like for me, it's the first water Pokemon I hop onto, so I have to put in number two. I wish you'd think I put in number one, but there is something I have in terms of my favorite all time for water types. I I can't put Lapras above this, like whoever's number one. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It does no priority, like Ice Shard and stuff. Would I recommend it? Honestly, yeah, it's a mixed attacker. 85 on both sides doesn't hurt it. It's just, you get choices. Ability wise is not crazy. Water absorb is usually what I stick with, even though I know shell armor technically, if you were to think about it, would probably be more practical. Um, I actually find water absorb is kind of nice because everyone's got a water type usually or a water type move. So switching in, getting some health in, especially when it has 130, can be nice. Do I use this competitively? No, no, no. I don't really, not really. Lapras isn't one of those ones that I find a spot for often. I usually just end up going with other ones, but I have a connection to this thing because I'm just, like I said, nostalgia, and I probably have out of all the water types ever, I probably have the most time with Lapras because I played through Soul Silver probably the most out of any other Pokemon game, and Lapras is always my starter. So yeah. Before we move on to number one, I do honorable mentions, and I usually only pick one Pokemon because I don't want these videos to be longer than 15 minutes. I like to make them quick. So the honorable mention for this one, I'm gonna make it Wishy-Washy, school form, and that is why it's an honorable mention because I love the concept of Wishy-Washy. Like the full-on school form looks amazing. Design-wise, it's beautiful. I love. It's one of my favorite designed water starter. Water. Damn, I told myself I wasn't going to do that. Water Pokemon. It's one of my favorite designed water Pokemon from Nintendo, but it's not actually the Pokemon. That is Wishy-Washy on its own, which it's not. I'm just like, have I tried to use it? No. No, I haven't even tried to use it. Not that I don't have Sun and Moon. I've played through it. I've gone through the game. It's just I just never bothered because I knew I was like, it's not gonna it's not gonna be worth it. It's not gonna be worth it to every time be like, all right, I'm gonna get you to half health, and you're gonna change. And yeah, no, it's oh my god, it's actually a quarter if it has more than one quarter. Oh, okay. Hmm. Hmm. I never realized that. Well, I learned something. But even then, I don't know. Its stats are crazy. Its stats are crazy. I'm just gonna put him here. Like its stats are nuts. Like that's like legendary plus status. I just feel like when you have it's a fun concept, but I feel like it's not reliable. It's not reliable. Move wise, I've actually never looked through this thing. It's got not a whole lot, but it's got the strong ones. Like Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Earthquake. Just just the stuff to absolutely obliterate your opponent if you wanted, and U-turn to get the hell out of there when you realize, ooh, it's probably gonna change back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Its shiny is it just changes its like eyebrow or something. So, not crazy, but yeah. I mean, I did learn something with the ability. Still, though, yeah, I just not putting it top five because of that one thing. It does change back. I feel like it's just not a good It's just it doesn't work. So yeah. But let's go on to number one. Number one is Milotic. Bro, this thing is incredible. For a water type, this is like if I ever make I said this about the fire types and number one on the fire type list. Go check that out if you haven't. I said it. The fire type that's in the number one spot is the fire type that I would pick if I couldn't choose any other one. And this goes for Milotic too. If I couldn't choose any other water type Pokemon, I would choose Milotic. Just because I mean, its stats like it works. It works. It's not like perfect, but it works. It's just I don't know, man. It's my Lodic. Like even in abilities, like its abilities aren't actually that good. If I'm being honest, like competitive, cute charm, Marvel scale, they're not that great. I mean, Marvel scale. is probably nice, you know, to make it extra tanky, but like I don't know, it's shiny, looks great with the gold and silver look, like it's sick. I just find it very the design and the stats and the moves is what gets me. You know, I just thought I was like, I don't think there's many other water types that come close to this thing. Actually, I don't think there's any that really comes close to like this, like what they did with this. Nintendo was like, yeah, let's just make a really, really nice water type because they had Gyarados. I've never been a fan of Gyarados because for me, I just think it's ugly. Like, I'm like when I think of water Pokemon, I think of like water as like a majestic kind of type, right? So to me, I looked at this and I was like, this fits the water type. Like when I think of the water type to like beat all other water types, I think of this thing. So I had to put. I knew when making this list, I knew what number one was going to be. I just had to figure out where everyone else was going to stand. So I don't. I'm not really going to go into it any more than that. I don't really need to. It's just. It's to me. It's just fits what I think of when it comes to water type, which usually goes for most of the number ones in these other typing lists. Is just to me when I think of that type, I think of that Pokemon. That's why it's a number one. Not just because I like it the most. That's why it's top one. Like in the top spot. It's because I literally can't think of anything else that like just epitomizes the typing for me. So yeah, but that's been the list. If you guys liked it, you know what to do. Light up that like button, smash the sub button, give that bell your best. You know how that goes. Next time's next vid. If you guys had any like Pokemon that you wanted to put down in terms of the water typing, you got the comment section right down below you. So give it a shot. Let's see what you come up with. Maybe you have a wild one. You're like, no one ever talks about this one, but it's sick. Here's why. Then I'll be like, okay, well, I mean, you're wrong, but it's cool that you said it. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next Pokemon video that you choose to watch, or the next video on the channel you choose to watch. Yeah, the next video will probably, this one's a little longer than I wanted it to be, but the next video will probably be either electric or I'm thinking normal. I don't know. It's up to you. Not really. It's kind of up to me. But if you guys want to comment down which one you prefer before the next video comes out, I know that sounds a little like, wait, but what if you already recorded it? Well, then oh well. But I'm trying to see if like maybe I can get that where I can get you guys to pick and choose. Like, do you want normal or do you want electric this time? I'll see how it goes in the comment section after a week. If you guys don't say anything, then I'll just go with whichever one I feel. So, but if you guys did say something and it's not too late, then I'll make it, hopefully that'll end up becoming a habit where I'll get comments of like which typing you guys prefer. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, peace, and goodbye.